Hello, you're listening to Recommendations for My Otaku Spouse, or Otafu Susume.
I'm Wes.
And I'm Jen.
And today we're going to be looking at our interests and 2017 anime.
So let's get started. So hi everyone, Jen and Wes here. Welcome to Recommendations for My Otaku Spouse, or Otafu Susume for short. If this is your first time listening, thanks for coming.
Jen and I have been watching anime for a while now. We've got some different interests that we always wanted to politely force the other one to share with us.
Normally by tying the other one down onto the sofa and going, hey, watch this.
Shh, bedroom only. What we want to do today, kind of as an intro, would just talk about our general interests in anime, what we're looking for usually when we look at new seasons or new shows, and then what we felt about the last year. This way you can get to know us and kind of what we're looking forward to as we go on.
As well as we can judge each other on our differing tastes or similar tastes.
There is endless judging.
Endless judging. So we're actually not going to do it like a normal year in review style podcast. We'll do it more of a... Well, we've looked at each of the anime that we watched each season, and we've picked one that we've liked and one that we didn't like as much. And we don't know what each other's likes and dislikes are, so we're going to go through each season of anime and then discuss what we liked and what we didn't like from the season.
That's the plan. I guess, quick background. I've been watching anime for decades now. I'm too old. And really what I'm always looking for are more happy stories. I love romance anime that aren't too filled with pointless drama. I love giant robot anime that are hot-blooded adventure. I love sports anime that are always about going out and giving everything you've got and trying your best. And when it comes to anime, really, it's a bit of escapism for me. So that's kind of what I look for as I go there.
And I guess I've been watching anime for decades as well. And when I look for an anime, I'm looking for great characters and character interaction, a great plot. I like romance, but as long as it doesn't have unnecessary drama or fluff. And I enjoy the hot-blooded shows and the sports anime, but not as much as Wes.
I also like some good plot and backstory in my anime.
Nah.
Anyway, let's jump in. Quick breakdown, just so that we can have our terms online. Winter anime is first quarter. That's going to be your January to March anime. Coming into April, we go into spring. That goes for 3 months. Then July starts off summer. And then after 3 months, we come into October for the fall anime.
Which is just finished.
Yeah. We're actually getting geared up to start in the new winter season.
So, Wes, what did you like from winter 2017?
Last winter was a good season, actually. There was a lot of things that we watched.
There was a lot of stuff we watched.
And there's a lot of them that I really liked. I'm definitely, though, my favorite of that season had to be Yojo Senki. It ticked every box for me. It had stupid historical references, even though they mixed World War I and World War II. It had great characters. It had lots of fun action. And then it ended in such a way that's just making me really, really wish we get a season 2 for the North Africa campaign. Basic premise Yojo Senki is that a Japanese salaryman time slips because the Japanese love their time slips / traveling to a different world.
Well, not exactly time slips. More time is put there on purpose by God.
Yes. He gets pushed in front of a train in modern-day Japan and wakes up in the body of an orphan, 6-year-old girl in sometime between World War I and World War II Germany.
No, she's a baby when he wakes up.
Oh, yeah, she is a baby. And then she grows up in the orphanage with her.
Yeah.
We kind of rejoin her as she's 8 or 9 or something. What's different, of course, ignoring the whole, we're somewhere between World War I and World War II and we're not entirely sure where. And Hitler is more the Kaiser, is more a very charismatic looking middle-aged man, is that there's magic everywhere. And all of the nations have different forms of magic, and they've just merged that into the rest of their war campaign. And Germany's still trying to take over Europe.
It's not exactly Germany.
It's Germany.
Oh, yeah, it's Germany, but it's not Germany.
It's Germany.
They get away with it because it's a fantasy world that's heavily based on actions that happened in our world, which is why the salaryman can kind of meta game a little.
Yeah, it's great fun. Because his number one goal is how do I A, survive, and B, make sure that everything turns out well for me in the end? And yet he accidentally winds up as their ace mage on the front lines. It's great.
Oh yeah, on the front lines is the emphasis. And God is always coming back and sticking around with him. Her.
Sonzai X, mysterious being X.
Oh yes. That's why mysterious being X is being a bit of a dick to our main character, is because he doesn't believe in God, and he's like, you're just some kind of entity who has powers, but you're not God.
No, but it was great. It was well animated. Highly recommended to anyone out there.
That was their first anime.
Yeah, it was the first anime for that studio as well. You're right. Brilliant, yeah. Brilliant in every way.
I actually really enjoyed Yojo Senki as well. That was one that we watched pretty much every week.
Yeah. So Jen, what was your favorite of Winter 2017?
My favorite from Winter 2017, because I had a feeling you'd pick Yojo Senki. And Yojo Senki, like I was debating Yojo Senki and Kobayashi Shisan Chi no Maid Dragon. Kobayashi's Maid Dragon.
Yes.
That was that season.
Yeah,
it was good. It was so funny. I guess in the end I ended up picking up the romance anime, and you ended up picking up the more story-driven, serious one.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yojo Senki, which the subtitle, by the way, was Saga of Tanya the Evil, which is totally unfair, was totally a romance anime about the love for a young patriot and her country. But we're getting off the subject.
I love you, Germany-san. Notice me, Germany. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Germany. I can't actually remember what the country was called.
Anyway.
So Kobayashi's Maid Dragon is about a woman called Kobayashi who's a programmer, which I really loved. I love that she was a programmer and she wears suits and she's very, relaxed. She seems like an average Japanese person, like a more realistic average Japanese person than your majority female protagonist. And she opens her front door one day to find a dragon standing outside. And what she doesn't realize is that she quickly realizes that she got very drunk, ran into this dragon, saved her life, and the dragon swore that she would serve her in exchange for saving her life. And so what's the best way to serve a human but to become a maid? So she transforms into a maid and starts living with this human, and hijinks ensues.
Yeah, so this was done by KyoAni, who've done just
everything.
They
are my favorite studio.
They've got a new show every season, and sometimes they're great, and sometimes they're not. And this, thankfully, was definitely one of the up peaks, based on a
manga.
Yeah, Yonkama, a 4-panel gag manga. I had a lot of fun with this one as well, actually. It was just, the characters were all endearing. More dragons show up, some of her coworkers show up.
So yeah, all the characters were really great. And it was interesting seeing, I love the openings as well. It had a really good opening.
The opening was fun.
I liked how it slowly built up a relationship between the two main characters. Like, it was a Yuri anime, which I loved, but without being a Yuri anime. It felt organic and realistic, as opposed to kind of a will they, won't they awkward situation, which most Yuri anime are.
Yeah, you've definitely got the dragon more pushing it, and Kobayashi kind of coming in, waking up almost.
Yeah. Toru, definitely, especially whenever she tried to feed Kobayashi her tail. Or
not a euphemism.
Possibly a euphemism. That might have been what they were going for. She gets a bit obsessed about Kobayashi, and the other characters do get a little jealous, but mostly because Toru's turned up in Japan, everyone else has to join her as well. And so you have a whole host of fun characters.
Yeah, and endless hijinks ensue.
Endless hijinks. And I really hope they come out with another season.
Usually, I guess KyoAni's done some second seasons. That doesn't really seem like one of the ones they would, though. So what didn't you like in Winter?
You're going to hate me for this. I didn't like Konosuba.
Right, and this is why we see that Jen has horrible taste in anime. Konosuba was on my list that I was about to talk about something that I did like.
I know.
Yojo Senki.
I know.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Konosuba, this was for season 2.
Full name, Konosubarashi Seikai ni Shufuku Fukuo, or God's Blessing on This Wonderful World.
Mm-hmm. Is about a guy, it's about an isekai, a guy who's thrown into another world, and he ends up teaming. Well, what he's allowed to do is he's allowed to take whatever he wants into this other world, and he wishes to take the goddess with him. And she's like, what? So him and this goddess go to this world, and the only way they can get out of it and get her back to being a goddess is to defeat the demon lord. But they're really lazy, and they don't really try hard or at all, and they keep doing get rich quick schemes and then spending all their money on food and drink.
Which, man, I can't believe it was brilliant. So
it was entertaining, but the thing I didn't like about it was just how bad the animation was.
It's a little low budget.
And how they just didn't try at all. It was frustrating to watch. It was entertaining. And it was funny because I was watching it with you, but if I was watching it by myself, I would have dropped it.
Oh my goodness, it was so good. It was every bad role-playing group you've had on screen, and it was a pleasure to watch.
That's because you like running in bad role-playing groups.
That's true.
I like my plot and my narrative, my actual narrative, not a euphemism plot. Although Darkness was probably my favorite character.
So bad. It was just so many stupid little things. Like, no, the characters are brilliant. The show's brilliant. Ignore Jen. Watch the show.
No, don't.
Although on the same side, one of the shows that I thought about bringing up here for a very similar reason was Kimono Friends. I started watching it and just instantly the weirdly CG animation just put me off and I dropped it.
Was that winter?
That was winter. Kimono Friends was winter 2017, and I have heard a lot of good things about it. Like, it's just taken the internet by storm. Fans all over the world saying this is such a great show. And I understand that it's supposed to be brilliant and I should watch it, but
I haven't watched it yet, and I was planning on watching it.
Yeah, but it's what Jen was just bad animation can really put me off. Especially when it feels like lazy animation, which that opening scene that I was saying in Kimono Friends was just really doing for me, because good CG is one thing. I mean, as we've obviously seen, Pixar can put it out pretty much yearly. Even if the story's not the best, there's nothing you can complain about the CG. But this just, I mean, yeah.
But
maybe
that's
a brilliant
my
show,
problem with Suba. Was that the one that you weren't a fan of from Winter, or which was the one that you picked out?
Kimono Friends, I wasn't, as I said, I dropped it. There was honestly 3 other ones that I was kind of on my short list, but I'm going to do a mix between Kuzu no Honkai and Masamune-kun no Revenge. And
did you finish that one?
No, I didn't finish either of them. I dropped them both. I got a couple episodes into both of them, and I dropped them both, and it was just, as I said in the intro, I do love a good romance anime, and that doesn't mean there can't be drama in it, but when the drama is due to idiot characters refusing to sit down and talk to each other, I'm not going to put up with that.
Kuzu no Honkai and
Masamune-kun no Revenge were both had. Yeah, it was both just people who wouldn't talk to each other. People disagree. People live different lives. People look at things in different ways, and that's fine. But when, like, Masamune-kun no Revenge specifically, just the whole show could have been avoided if 2 characters had talked to each other. One goes, "Hey, you treated me like a jerk." And the other one goes, "What? No, I didn't." And they go, "Oh, this was all a misunderstanding."
But the whole idea with that one was that he was trying to get revenge. So he didn't want there to be an understanding. He wanted to absolutely humiliate the main character.
But he's getting revenge for something that the main character didn't do.
I thought she did.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I guess, did you watch more than I did?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, I need to finish that one. Actually.
Nope, horrible show.
But I did finish Kuzu no Honkai, and I regret finishing that one. But just because it was just... I was enjoying it up to the point where you're not going to get a happy ending.
Great.
I don't like not things that don't have a happy ending.
It starts off that way. You've got 2 kids dating each other because the 2 people they want to date are dating other people, and one of them's cheating on the person I don't know. As soon as I started reading into it, I said, that kind of shoujo manga dropped.
Kind of like, was it Paradise Kiss?
Oh, gosh. No, worse than Paradise Kiss. I didn't like Paradise Kiss because the whole show is, maybe this abusive relationship is actually a good thing. By the way, it never is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Kuzu no Honkai ended up turning into, was one of the characters was in an abusive relationship. She was like, "Oh, I cheat. I sleep with all of these guys and I cheat on you, and I'm only really dating you because I want to kind of piss off your little sister, because she's in love with you. And then he's like, well, I don't care about that. Marry me. And she's like, okay. And then they get married. And you're like, what?
So what you're saying is I'm good to have dropped it.
Yes.
Lovely.
Good to have dropped it.
Right. So let's jump into spring then?
Yeah, spring. Spring right into the next one.
And let's go on to the happy side again. Enough of this depressing garbage.
Okay.
I started winter, so you start spring. What did you like?
I absolutely love the show that you did not watch, that I recommend that you watch, called Recreators.
Okay.
It was very much a sleeper series. Like, I didn't pick it up on my initial read through when I looked at all the anime for the season, and I hadn't really heard about it, but then a friend of mine was like, I'm watching this show, you should really check it out. Like, okay. It's about video game, anime, and like novel characters and manga characters coming from their world into ours. They're brought into our world by this mysterious girl who seems to be able to like manipulate matter, and they team up with this. Well, not really team up. Well, there is the protagonist, but he's actually not involved in it as much. And it's the other characters that tend to kind of drive the narrative a lot more than him, but he is still very key to the story. And what I really liked about it was, first of all, the music was fantastic. Second of all, the animation was gorgeous. Holy crap. Third of all, the story was really engaging. And although the ending was, I wouldn't say flat, because it had a really good ending. It had a realistic ending as well for a fantasy show about fictional characters coming into our world. And I like that. And it was just really interesting. It had me hooked pretty much from the start, and I binged through the whole thing. It's one you should definitely give it a go.
You've been telling me that a bit. I'm just lazy, so.
Yeah. You pretty much don't watch anything after the season's finished unless I sit you down and force you to watch it. But I've already seen it, so I don't want to watch it again.
No, I binge watch two things. I just have a list of things.
Oh, yeah. A long list of things.
Complete opposite of everything you just said. My pick of spring 2017 would be Kenka Bancho Otome.
Really? Seriously?
I had a lot of fun with it. I was in there looking through the list of things that we watched. It was a short one. It was something like 8-minute episodes. It was honestly, to go against what I just complained about Komodo Friends, it was somewhat poorly animated.
Yeah, but you said that was finding Konosuba.
Konosuba wasn't that badly animated.
It was so badly animated.
It's a
oh my god.
No. You were wrong about everything you say about Konosuba. Well, season 1, season 2, and everything else. It's amazing.
Yeah.
No, but Kenko Bancho Otome, it's clearly based on a dating sim. It's like the first thing animated in a series of video games, phone games, whatever. It had its problems, but I liked all the characters. I liked the interaction between the characters. It was like a romance anime without the romance, because none of the characters really knew that one of the other characters was a girl, because they're in an all-boys school in which the hierarchy is decided through fists and manly spirit.
Phrasing.
I didn't say the way of the fisting. It's got stupid Yakuza families, which I adore in my anime. Well, silly Yakuza families that I adore in my anime. It's got manly bonding. I mean...
Phrasing.
It was great. It was brilliant, and I loved it. Highly recommend. Kenko Bancho Otome.
What I liked about that Kenko Bancho Otome is that they knew they didn't have the budget. And they're like, fine, we don't have the budget. We're not going to even bother drawing faces or putting color on any of the NPCs, the like side characters. Screw them. They're not important. What we are going to put the money in is the fights. And the fight scenes were really nicely animated. Like everything else was kind of just pictures and then the mouth would move. But then when the fight scene kicked in, it was really smooth and well choreographed. And even though it was a short anime, they were like, we don't have this money. We're going to put all our budget into this one little thing. And it was nice. Actually,
throughout the season, when we were watching it, Jen and I both commented to each other, man, I really wish that this had gotten full-length episodes instead of the 8-minute cut-down ones.
Yeah, it would have been good, but I liked that it was short and sweet and easy to get through.
Yeah, but it had enough like story droppings saying what else is here, what's the relationship between these characters, that they could have done so much with it, given a full budget. For what I didn't like in spring, I'm going to go with Fukumenki Noise.
Oh, I watched one episode of that and dropped it instantly.
Yeah, I watched a few more after that, because I was hoping, again, this is coming back to my love for shoujo manga and anime. I was just hoping for more from it. The whole thing is supposed to be about how this girl sings and what her voice does to people and this and that and that and this. And so there's some things where you really, really need the audio. I mean, something like Nodame Kantabire wouldn't work as well, I feel, as a manga, just because it's so much about the music and how they play it and all of that.
Although it was originally a manga.
I know it's originally a manga, so was this. And so when you're coming into something like this, you really want to put the work into that and this and that. But again, it's just similar to what I was saying about Masamune no Revenge. You know, the music was so whatever, but it comes down to stupid misunderstandings caused by people who don't want to talk to each other, who have no reason to not talk to each other.
But where's a girl and a boy can't have a decent conversation
it's
without there implying something else?
No, it's stupid. You've got a girl with 2 childhood friends, and that somehow she gets in a position that she's going to meet with one of the childhood friends again. And for reasons untold, unless they explain them later, which I'm not going to bother sitting around for, they're like, nope, he doesn't want to talk to her.
What was the name of that one again?
Fukumenke Noise.
Fukumenke Noise.
Yeah, and it was no good. Hated it. What didn't you like in spring?
I did not like What Owls Say Salesman.
Yeah, it's because it's old and you don't like old things.
Well, I married you. No, what it was, so it's a new telling, a new animation from What Owls Salesman from I don't even know when.
I think it's the 60s. If I remember right, it was done by Fujio, the manga duo who, in an odd twist, also did Doraemon.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Does it really?
Well, mostly the animation style, mostly the art style, I guess. But it was just, I mean, you could tell it was based on an older art style, which was fine. I've watched stuff before, but it was just, again, I like happy endings. I mean, sure, I'm fine with seriousness and drama, but it was just, every single story was just depressing and horrible, and people who did bad things got their just desserts. Mm-hmm. But people who hadn't done anything wrong and were simply tricked by the salesman ended up in terrible situations. And I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was written during a weird time. It's an acquired taste in a way. It's very much almost like Blackjack in that...
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Blackjack either.
Blackjack's so good. Where it looks more just at humanity, human nature. What happens if you tempt people? And
normally it's, you know, even in Japan, you get people who are selfish.
Even in Japan?
Well, because, you know, the majority of anime is like, oh, everyone's really lovely and we're really strong community driven and we take care of the old. But there are still people, I mean, there's people all over the world who are selfish and who trick you and who are just assholes. And I think a lot of Westerners have this image of Japan as being like really holistic and nice, where in reality it's not entirely. It's like I meet Japanese people and I say I'm from England and they're like, oh, England, that means all the English people are gentlemen and they're so much nicer than Japanese men. And I'm like, you've not met British guys, have you? They're not gentlemen. So summer, what did you like from summer?
When I was looking over it, and I wasn't including a lot of sequels and things like that, or things I hadn't finished, and you're not going to like this answer.
Oh, no.
I like Gamers.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Gamers was fun. It was your classic romance Septagon.
Classic Septagon?
Yes. Not Love Triangle. We're moving up.
No, because Septagon would be 7
was it just
people
Pentagon?
Involved. There was 6 in the end.
Oh, I guess if you got the younger sister?
Yeah.
But they also don't know who the other ones are. So you kind of have Seaweed Hair, who almost counts for 3 characters.
Seaweed Hair.
Yes.
Obviously memorable characters that you remember all their names.
Yeah, Seaweed Hair.
So what was Gamers about?
So Gamers is you've got a bunch of people who in some way or another have some connection to playing video games, and then this huge tangled romance story begins to ravel itself. I'd say unravel, but nothing gets decided. And I just thought they were actually pretty realistic characters, which made me laugh.
That is, I have to agree they were realistic characters.
And part of the here to completely, just go against everything I'm saying.
Hang on.
A lot of the issues is people won't talk to each other.
Yeah.
But it's them trying to unravel what they're not talking about, because they do talk to people, they just talk to the wrong people, which makes me laugh a lot. So you've got main character, and he kind of becomes forced friends with another character who has a girlfriend, but then he thinks that his new friend is cheating on his girlfriend with another character who likes him, And he thinks that she's like a school idol and whatever. And so he starts forming a friendship with the girlfriend, but honestly, she's just more of a support friendship rather than a relationship. And so the guy who he's friends with thinks that his girlfriend's cheating on him with him because they keep talking together at a family restaurant to try to figure out if the friend is actually cheating on the girlfriend.
I've seen the show and I was lost.
It was brilliant. It made me laugh. The characters were all stupid, and a lot of fun.
I'm going to flip it around and actually say what I didn't like for summer.
Oh, are you?
Because I didn't like gamers. I have gamers. Well, the thing is it had such a great start. It had the first scene was everyone standing in class around the two main characters, the main girl and the main guy, going, what's happening? And then it kind of jumps back and it leads up to this whole situation. And this whole situation happens in about episode 6. I think it was about episode 6 or maybe episode 8.
Yeah, that was later than that.
Actually, no, because this whole season finished on episode 11 and then episode 12 was like a special random thing they threw in. So I actually think it was around episode 6.
I still think it was later.
And I loved that build-up. I loved everything up to that moment. And then after that, the problem I had with it was that characters didn't talk to each other. That's why I didn't like about it. Like it had this great setup and things are going to go somewhere. But then the main character he just acts like the protagonist in a harem anime. He just doesn't have any personality.
He did. He's a loner. He doesn't know how to talk to people. He likes playing video games more than people.
He doesn't know how to talk to people, but he's still able to talk to people. Like, he talks
to one character and one person online, and all the rest he has trouble with.
Yeah, but then as soon as after an episode, he's fine talking with them. Like, you say he makes friends with the pink-haired girl and they hang out in the family restaurant all the time.
Yeah, but that's more her pushing.
Yeah, but as soon as she has a problem, he'll drop everything and run to her.
They become friends.
They do become friends, and I like that. But I also didn't like that it didn't resolve anything, that it felt like it got to a point and then didn't go anywhere.
I think it did resolve things. I think it kind of still left one of the characters out there in the blue, but that's because, again, much like the main character, she was a loner who didn't know how to make that push, whereas the main character was very much more gregarious, and so she sees what she wants and goes for it, whereas the other one doesn't.
Yeah, but
because she doesn't know what she wants until it's too late.
I honestly thought when it started that it would be about them all joining the game club. And I was actually really interested in the characters who were in the game club already, and that didn't happen either. So it was like they seemed to be going in one direction and then went in something completely different. And it just, at the end, it really frustrated me that I hadn't got an ending. I hadn't got a resolution to this love hexagon.
But you did.
But you didn't. They hinted at one and then didn't follow through.
In Japanese culture, they practically shouted it from the rooftops.
Oh, no, they didn't. Because again, they then had the special episode in episode 12, which then didn't really do anything. I was frustrated by it. What I did like from summer of 2017 was, again, another one that you didn't see. It was Princess Principal.
I watched some of it.
You watched some of it, but you didn't finish it.
It's true.
I finished all of it, and I loved every minute of it. The animation was, again, fantastic. I love the costume designs. I love that steampunky kind of setting. It was all about this kind of series of spies working under the princess, because the Empire has taken over most of Europe, including London, or at least like the southeast of England, and they've walled it off from the rest of England. And so the princess is trying to get rid of the wall. She's trying to reunite the people again and take England away from the Empire's rule with her group of schoolgirl spies who are all adorable and amazing. I love the interaction between the characters as well, and the chemistry again you had between the princess and the main character is really cute because, again, I love my Yuri. But again, it wasn't blatant Yuri.
You know, for someone who says you don't like blackjack or WoW salesmen, you seem to be perfectly fine with people screwing over others for their own ends, so long as they're cute little girls doing it.
Yes.
Episode 1 starts with them totally... So, basic premise, of course, Cold War Berlin, except for it's London, and it's steampunk. And episode 1 is them screwing over a scientist because it helps further their cause with no regards to him or his family.
No, the reason they kill him is because he double crosses them. He set them up because he was promised by the bad guys that everything will be fine, blah, blah, blah. So even though the main characters save his sister because they've double crossed them, they have no choice but to kill him. That's what I took from it.
Okay.
That's the interesting thing, is that people do die. It's not exactly a happy story, but it goes really interesting places, and there's a plot twist towards the end that I did not see coming. That was good. And I'm not going to tell you because you need to watch it, and I don't want to spoil it for people.
Not asking. So for what I didn't like for summer, again, I narrowed it down to a couple. One of which, just a quick one word, don't watch it, would be for Kippeki Danshi Aoyama-kun. Said at the beginning, I love my sports anime, I love my hot-bloodedness. Really? They just made it boring. Kippeki Danshi? That was the one about the soccer player who couldn't...
Yeah, who had who was germophobic.
I dropped that like 2 episodes in.
I actually want to finish it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can give it another shot. But
I can finish it on my own if you're not interested.
Yeah, go ahead. But the one that really that I just ended up dropping, I feel no need to finish, would be Centaur no Nayami.
Yeah, that was also on my list of things that I didn't like.
Yeah, Centaur's Worries. And for me, it didn't know what it wanted to be. There were bits of it that I was like, this seems really odd or out of place or interesting. It was kind of like a monster girl in modern times slice of life, but at the same time, it really wanted to be like social commentary and or this weird, almost like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just like trying to go in these weird government conspiracy angles, but most of the time it was just weird monster girl slice of life, and it didn't do really either of them that well.
I mean, we like monster girl slice of life because Demi-chan wa kataritai. Conversations with Demi-chan?
Monster Girls.
Oh, it was Monster Girls? I don't know what the English title was for that. But Demi-chan was adorable. That was a monster girl slice of life done right. And it even had social commentary.
Yeah, and it was good. Yeah,
Centaur no Nayami just creeped me out at points. The whole shadow government who will take you away to be re-educated if you do something wrong. Kind of like the Earth Nation from Avatar.
The heroes of the show. There was no war in Ba Sing Se. They protected their people. We're getting off the subject. Fall. I have the strangest feeling that we're going to have chosen the same anime for this one.
Oh.
Just because it was so good.
Yes.
In fall. And it ticked like all of your boxes and all of my boxes.
I'm actually surprised you didn't pick the other one. But
seriously? For best anime in fall? My favorite anime fall of 2017 would be Netju no Susume.
Yeah, Netju no Susume was fantastic. It was my favorite too.
I think the English title was Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Which is a terrible translation because A, she's not recovering. B, well, yeah, she's an MMO junkie, but it makes it sound like a bad thing.
In Japan, once again, the country that it's from and the culture it's looking at, staying at home and turning yourself into a NEET so you can live a life online is a bad thing.
Yes, but this was the English translation. The Japanese English title was actually Recommendations for a Net Life, which I think worked way better.
Was it?
It was, yeah, because they directly translated Nettoju no Susume. So it was Recommendations for a Net Life, which would have been so good because that's the whole thing, was that they were isolated characters who struggled in society. I guess the main guy didn't really struggle that much, but the only time he found solace was online with their friends. And it was beautiful, and it was so cute.
It was an adorable romance story. It has the best wingman of all seasons, all anime.
He was hilarious.
He was the best wingman. Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, if you've played an MMO, you'll watch this and you'll see things that you've done. If you've played any MMO game, any phone game from Japan, you'll watch them rolling on the gacha and hate themselves, and you'll say, yep, I've been there, done that.
You'll see them not sleeping and going out to the store with like no makeup and messy hair, and it's like, yep, yeah, I feel you. Like, you don't want to bother getting dressed up just to go down to the store. It felt realistic in that aspect.
And every episode, you're kind of like, oh shoot, I need to watch next week. You know, there's never that was a cute episode. It was always so how long is 7 days again? Which is, whenever an anime makes you feel that, it's doing something right. Yeah.
If we didn't watch it every week, we would have binged it in a single day. I bet you anything we would have.
So what didn't you like in fall?
Actually, that was really hard because everything I watched I liked, but I'm gonna have to say Kino's Journey, Kino no Tabi. I like it. I enjoyed it, but there was something about it where I was going, wait, what? That was a dick move. It's kind of, there was a lot of kind of a WTF moments where, I don't know, it felt out of character. I was disappointed that Kino's gender wasn't hidden as well. Like, I really liked that in the original series from like a decade ago, where it was very subtle about it, and you really couldn't tell. Whereas this one, they kind of really emphasized her feminine features. I don't know, there was just something off about it, but maybe it's because I'm a fan of the original. Even though I did enjoy it, there was just something that kind of bugged me.
On the flip side, I never watched the original Kino, and I've seen a few of the episodes of the new one, and I've quite enjoyed them. Kind of going on this world journey and doing what it takes to survive in a dangerous and difficult world. Maybe I'm just a little more cynical, but yeah, I saw nothing wrong with it. For what I didn't like for that season, there's actually two of them. Both of them I didn't like for either reasons, for different reasons. Imoto Sayarebai was just garbage.
I didn't even watch that because of what you told me.
It was just garbage. When I read the synopsis for it, it sounded like it could have been interesting. It was it looked like more like it would be commentary about some of the weird ancestral tones in anime that I frankly just hate. I mean, things like Ore no imoto ga konnai kowai wake ga nai is garbage, horrible.
What was the English title for
I can't remember.
Imoto-san
A little sister
ga
could be
Yega?
fine too or something. I don't know. But
I don't think they'd call it that.
the first episode opens with like a naked little girl sitting on top of a guy in bed going, big brother. And I was like, oh, this isn't going to be any good. And I didn't even make it through the first episode. I'm just not doing that. Not my style. Not dealing with that crap. And then the other one was the second season of Osamatsu-san. And the fact that enough people watched the first one to get a second one just tells me that clearly I've got differing opinions from a lot of people out there.
I feel like the people who like Osamatsu-san are the same people who like Sakamoto desu ka?
Another garbage anime.
Which we did not like. I just don't get why it's funny, and I don't understand why Osamatsu-san is funny either. And we've probably just turned away a bunch of people, but it's just not our type of humor.
Brilliant. I actually didn't even start watching Osamatsu-san Season 2 because I tried watching Osamatsu-san Season 1 and hated it. And so, as I said before, the fact that we got a second season just befuddles me. And I understand that some people like different things, but when I was watching the first season, it just seemed like, so you've got 6 different brothers, but the only difference in their characters is that they're different kinds of asshole. And, you know, I mean, I know Japan loves its assholes. You've got one in every show. I mean, currently running right now, Boku no Hero Academia is blowing up everywhere, and Bakugo has no character type except for being an asshole.
Yeah, but he's an asshole with potential to grow.
Maybe.
Whereas Osamatsu-san doesn't.
You had Naruto running for hundreds of episodes, and its main character, because let's face it, it wasn't Naruto, it was Sasuke, was an asshole. Japan seems to love these characters, but people sit there and argue. I go to conventions and people are like, oh, you have to choose which brother was your favorite. And I'm like, yeah, it's like going out and picking through 6 different piles of crap that your dog left on the lawn. Oh, this one's green. Must have fed him the wrong milk bone. Maybe I'm bitter, but I didn't like it, is what I'm saying.
Maybe you're bitter? I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess there are areas where we have very similar tastes and areas where we really don't. I don't understand. Like, really? Konosuba?
Konosuba is brilliant. If that is getting a season 3, and I will be watching it every week.
Season 3. I don't understand why it's popular.
And I will be watching it every week.
Yet I will also be watching it every week.
Sucker.
Because it's entertaining, but I don't know why I like it. But I don't like it. It infuriates me.
2018 is coming up.
Yep.
Starting up this week, actually. This week or next week.
Yeah, actually, a few seasons have already started. A few episodes started today.
And there's a lot coming out that it's going to be fun. I really want to watch Gakko and Babysitters this season.
Yes.
Love the manga for that.
Wes keeps telling me to read the manga, and I haven't done it yet.
There's going to be a new season of Cutie Honey coming out this year.
Which I also haven't seen.
There was I think there's a new Devilman coming out.
Which I also haven't seen. Well, this is why we're doing recommendations for My Otaku Spouse, because there's so much that either of us haven't seen or read that we want the other one to see and read.
Yes, we do. We do have some good episodes coming up for that. We've been recommending things that are a little bit out there, and a few popular things as well that the other one just never got around to. I do hope that you will continue listening. Hopefully we haven't turned you all off by this first episode and trashing everything you like.
We probably have. No, so yeah, future episodes will be just a short, similar thing, asking each other what we thought of the shows that we recommended each other and judging each other profusely on our differing or similar tastes.
Probably different.
And then judging each other on what we haven't seen, because apparently not watching Trigun is a sin.
The fact that you haven't seen it is ridiculous.
Well, I'm gonna watch it now. I'm watching it now.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks for listening.